Hey mates, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to dive into a topic that may be a bit controversial, and that is why pursuing a PhD is not the dreaming path you've always imagined, and why even pursuing a PhD can be a very terrible idea. Hold on for a second, not for everyone. Now let me spill the tea on my own journey. I got not one but two degrees in engineering and tapped it off with not one but two degrees, two masters in business school. But the thing that I always avoided like a plague was PhD. And let me tell you why. So let me go back with my dreams. When I kicked off my undergrad, I was dreaming to be a kind of professor when I finished school, and I was thinking that I can conquer academic world and find a chair as a faculty, and I would have some companies and making money on the side. But it never happened, dreams evolve. In this video, I'm going to talk about my own journey to all of you guys that are somehow facing this dilemma about your life, because pursuing a PhD can be a very good option for you if you want to immigrate or if you want to pursue some kind of careers, but you don't know what will be the end because it takes a lot of time. It is about 5 to 6 years on average. So I would just share my own experience and you may have some insights after that. So going back to my 20s, that it was a time that for not only me, I mean all of you guys, all of you peeps in your 20s will face huge dilemmas. So it was true for me as well. So as I said, I started my undergrad being a very kind of starry-eyed mechanical engineering student, and I was reading about static, dynamic, robotics, and things like that. So I wanted to mix all of them to be kind of business person and at the same time being a kind of scientific person, faculty person, too controversial thing. So that was my initial goal and initial dream. But reality check, it was a bit silly, to be honest. So when I entered university, I found that okay, I'm studying all of these things, but I like to have a good sense of business thing because I said that I wanted to be somehow company owners. And when I go back to my childhood dream, I wanted to be a car manufacturer. So where should I learn business? And a friend of mine recommended me to go and make my degree a dual one. So I made my degree as a dual one with industrial engineering. So this is the reason why I got two engineering degrees. But what happened? From year 3 onwards, I found that I'm facing a dilemma. That is that initial thought of being a kind of faculty member and a business person at the same time is a good idea or not. So the thing that I could do was to experience both. So finally I decided to be a team member of a research team that they were working on kind of robotic autonomous robots, some kind of economic version of Tesla models. And the other one was that I wanted to pursue my internship, that at that time I was only 21 years old, in a very small company that it was working with food industry. So I wanted to taste both and have a full experience to understand whether I'm a good fit for research or a good fit for business. So in the research, I found that literature reviews aren't my cup of tea. Coding and kind of doing analysis, yeah, I love them. But being a person who sits on a chair for long hours and do research, that wasn't me. Regarding the business, I found that engineering, again, not my cup of tea. But I found using engineering skills and doing kind of business analysis, that was absolutely my vibe. So I was very happy with that. So having these two experiences helped me to figure out, no, I don't want to pursue my master's in engineering and prepare myself for being a doctor or a PhD student. But when I made this decision, lots of things happened. It wasn't the end of the story. A lot of friends, family, they tried to change my mind. Even one of my cousins that was very credible in our family, he came to our home and tried to convince my parents that if I don't pursue an engineering professorship, I would make a huge mistake. So doubt knocked, tuck, tuck, tuck. But there were two sentences, or there were two things, not two sentences, that helped me to somehow face this doubt and make my own decision. The first one is a sentence from a top teacher of mine that said, I'd rather to be a science user and make the world better based on the existing science, not being a science producer. So I said, okay, that I can be that one as well. But the other thing was that I followed trends for PhD graduates, and I found that being a faculty member is being harder and harder. So if I don't have a passion for being a researcher, how can I be able to fight for a chair? So that was the other thing that I made my final decision and went for my MBA, or my first master's. So MBA world began. I was super happy and I was learning a lot and always passionate. And I started to work for a German company, but I'm Iranian. I was working from Tehran for their Tehran's office. But 2018 happened and all of tensions between Iran and USA exacerbated and sanctions were all back. So it was a disastrous moment of my time because Europeans stopped working with Iran as well, and literally I lost my job. So it was the moment in my life that I found, okay, this country may not be another option for me to stay and work and pursue my dreams, and I wanted to immigrate. So at that time, I'm telling this story for people who want to immigrate via PhD, studying PhD. So at that time, there were a couple of options for immigration. And for some of personal reasons that I may explain in the future, I and my wife decided to come to Canada. So Canada was our destination. And that time, it was before COVID, when we decided to immigrate, we were preparing our documents to come to Canada via a stream called Express Entry. So we had all of eligibilities and scores, but as soon as we prepared all of them, COVID happened and they stopped all of their draws, so-called draws, and we couldn't come via Express Entry. So the only option remained here was pursuing a PhD for one of us, or for me. So, but again, it was a huge kind of decision that I wanted to make. And the thing was that all of my friends, family, they said, if you want to go for a second master's, it would be very risky regarding the visa. And also it will cost you a lot because it's very expensive. And I knew that, but I was thinking that if I want to go for pursuing a PhD, it means to me that I may need to dedicate at least 5 years of my life to doing something that I really don't like. And after that, I don't see any insight for that. So finally, again, I decided to come to study for my second master's at UBC Southern. I already shared my experience for this master in this video, but that was, I think, a very bold decision. Again, I was facing a lot of doubts, a lot of pressure from peers, family, and other people that this is a wrong decision, but I did that. And now I'm very happy because after 8 months being in Canada, I could go back to job market. I found a job that I really like, and it was very, very good decision for me. So the thing that I want to say here is pursuing a PhD can be very daunting, but if you don't find the meaning behind that, it would be very, very bad for you because you're ruining your life. There is a big shout out to all of my friends, my mates, that they are PhD students, they finished their PhDs, but they did it because of a meaning. I have one of my close friends that He was a big fan of physics from when we were about 15 years old. He's now studying physics and he's super happy. So I really respect them. But if you want to pursue a PhD for immigration or any other kind of goal that is not a meaningful thing, is not research-based thing, so you're ruining your life. I hope this video will help you to make a better decision for your life. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Many thanks.